Hey guys, it's Vas here from Aussie RC Playground, and welcome to my unboxing of the Pro-Line Pro2. This is a 1/10 scale two-wheel drive short course truck. It is available in the kit, which means you will need to buy all the electronics for it, including your remote. And you know, this truck here, I've actually had it in my wish list for quite some time. Pretty much ever since it's been released, I've wanted to get a two-wheel drive short course truck because it's one of those things that I just don't have it in my collection. I've got a couple of four-wheel drive ones, but no two-wheel drive ones. And I wanted to get something that was kind of going to set a little bit of a baseline for any other two-wheel drive short course trucks that I may get in the future. So I think the Pro2 is a good kind of standard to set. I'm not only going to show you this truck, but I'm also going to show you the electronics that I've chosen for it and what I'm going to be running on the truck. So there's really not a lot to look at as far as the truck goes because, as I said, it comes in a kit. However, Proline have been kind enough to sort of semi-assemble a lot of this for us to minimize our own workload, which is quite good. So when you open it up, this is pretty much what you're going to see. There is a instruction manual, which is actually, I think, pretty well detailed. You get a Flowtech clear body that you are going to have to cut and paint yourself, just so you know, if you guys are a bit new to the hobby, you are going to have to do a little bit of work to this guy to give you the shocks, which are the I believe these are the Power Stroke shocks. Here is the main truck itself, which comes kind of perched up on this little cardboard platform, zip tied into place. And as you can see, they've done quite a lot of the work for you. A lot of the steering assembly is done. The transmission's all done and pre-installed. You really just have to finish it off and you know, do your A-arms, shock towers, bumpers, all that type of thing. So over here we have our shock towers and some A-arms. Also got some links there. And the rest of the big bag here is, you know, you got your bumpers. There's obviously going to be some hardware in here. They've even included some shock oil. So a lot of the hardware and everything else to finish off the truck is in this bag. And last but not least, we have wheels and tires, which is a really cool thing for Proline to include these, because sometimes when you do buy a kit, some of these top of the line kits won't come with any wheels or tires, or they may supply the wheels but not the tires. So Proline have actually included these. Now these are the blockades. They do have somewhat smaller studs than what I would probably prefer. I'm not going to be racing this truck. Obviously, if you follow the channel, you know that I don't do a lot of racing. It's mainly just for bashing. But I understand that this truck can actually take a little bit of a beating, so I'm not going to abuse it as such, but I am, you know, going to have a little bit of fun with it, send it off some jumps and just see how it performs as a two-wheel drive short course truck. Now, the one thing I'm actually a little bit more excited about, or that some of you may actually be a little bit excited about, rather than just the truck itself, is the so I can see the glare just there on those shocks. Are the electronics that I've chosen for it. Now we're going to start off very simply with the remote that I'm going to be running. I'm going to be running the 4PLS, which is a remote that I bought about 6 months ago now, almost. And I've got a receiver that I picked up from Tail Hobbies for that, so that's ready to go. And we got Motor ESC and steering servo that I need to obviously install in the truck. And I actually went to AsiaTees and picked up one of their systems, which I've never actually used, one of their brushless systems before. Now, what I've picked here is this one, which is a ZTW brand, and this makes me laugh, Zone Top Way, which makes absolutely no sense at all. But it is waterproof. And it is suitable for a 1/10 scale, which is what I wanted. Apparently it has a lot of really cool features. If we flip along the side here, you get dynamic boost timing, you get brake curve and brake rate adjustment, dynamic running data log, throttle curve and punch rate adjustment on there as well. And this combo includes your ESC, your motor, your program card, and they even give you a manual. How about that? So let's crack this guy open and I'll quickly show you how it all sort of looks inside and what you get. So you can see here we have our instruction manuals, and that's a warranty card on the back as well. Take that off, and there's our Motor ESC and program card, which is tucked away at the top here. There we are, that's what it looks like. Now this combo, believe it or not, if my memory serves me right, is about $130, $140, somewhere around there. Little bullet connectors that I'm gonna have to put them on, and I'm also gonna have to put my connector to the battery on as well, so I got to do that. I'll quickly take the ESC out. ESC seems to be very nicely sealed up, and it is 120 amp, which is fairly decent. Comes with a built-in fan, and yeah, looks very simple. And the motor itself is nice and green. It is a 4200 kV, which I think will be suitable for a two-wheel drive truck like this. It does have some vents that you can see there, and some more vents at the back, so pretty decently ventilated. My only concern with vents is you know, debris getting in there. That's my biggest concern. I hope that this does not create a problem for this motor, but we will soon see. And lastly, I also picked this one up from AsiaTees. Now I have used this brand before. I used it on my Gravedigger build, but it was just a cheap steering servo that I picked up. This one is actually waterproof as well, so I think this could actually end up being a fairly decent unit. You can see here has kind of like a orange anodized heatsink on there. Now last but not least, one of the other things that I picked up from AsiaTees, which I think some of you may actually appreciate this, and it does kind of tie in to the remote that you see here. Well, it certainly ties into the remote that you see here. So browsing around for, you know, the next thing that I could get from AsiaTees, trying to take advantage of their postage and so forth, I found a bag for the remote. Now these bags, believe it or not, I'll leave a link in the description to this particular one, but you can get them for a couple of other brand remotes. I believe they have some for Spectrum, and they may even have some for I think another brand, I can't quite remember. But this bag, you can see here, it's got kind of like this carbon fiber type of finish. It's actually kind of silky. It's the best way to describe it. It is from Team C. Hopefully you can see that. And in the bag, when you get it, they also give us a little decal sheet, which I thought was kind of cute, just to give us that. So I'll open this guy up. Obviously this is where your remote's going to go. Now in most cases you're not going to need this this extra bit that's here. You can put this over the top of the remote. I would assume you would use it primarily if you're going, you're going on a plane or a long trip where you do want that added protection. But to just go, you know, in the car down to your local park, you can just slide this guy in here, like so. And I do have the GoPro mount on my remote, so it's a little bit tough to get in down the bottom here, but it still goes in. I can just pop it in there like so, and you know, my remote's protected. I can, even if it takes a tumble, it's not going to get scratched up, it's not going to get damaged. So I have a couple of additional compartments in here, maybe putting some other things, I don't know, maybe batteries or receivers, I'm not sure, but to take it out, it's pretty easy. Just grab it and out it comes. It's not much to it. And as I said, if you're going on a bit of a long trip, you put your remote in and you put this guy over the top and give you that little bit of added protection. So that is pretty much everything for this unboxing. What I'm going to be doing now, guys, is I'm actually going to be putting the truck together. I'll do this behind the scenes. I'm not going to do a build on this truck. So I'll be doing this behind the scenes, and then I'll come back with a painted body, all the electronics installed, and just give you guys a little bit of a feedback on how I found the build, all the electrics, and then yeah, that'll be pretty much the end of the video. So stick around. Okay, so here's the finished product. I'll give you guys a bit of a spin around on the truck, just so you can see exactly how it all looks. Gone all black on the back here, just used a matte clear to flatten out those flat sections. I've done some fading on the side vent here, as well as these top vents back here, and the front vents as well. I also did a little bit of fading. I'll show you here quickly. So you can see the front vents just there, kind of fade into the grey, and just a nice solid black through the middle section, raised bonnet there, which looks not bad. So I'll quickly take the body off, and just very quickly show you the electronics install and the way I've done it. Obviously there's many different ways that people can do this, but I've ran my cable along the side here, just used a couple of little bits of double-sided tape to keep it in place, and then curled it up at the end to meet up my receiver underneath the ESC back there, and all my cabling and everything is kind of hidden in there, which you really can't see. Moving on to the ESC that mounts up on a little platform, the on and off switch for the ESC really comes with a very short length, so there's really not a lot of options where you can mount it. So I just popped it straight onto the side of the ESC. I think it'll be okay there. Moving on to the back, you can see I've run some wire mesh to hide the color of the cables. This kind of keeps everything fairly stealth, and I think it should work very, very nicely. So that is the full electronics install, all nicely tucked away on the truck. Now, a couple of things that you guys need to remember to buy when you do get this truck, because I actually forgot to buy these things, was a servo horn. You will need one. Now, this particular servo actually does come with a fairly nice servo horn, which is this guy here, which I did have on the truck initially, but then I changed my mind and decided to go for an aluminium one. And this one here is actually a very similar color to the chassis itself, so I think it'll work a lot better, and it looks a lot nicer as well. Servo horn I've gone for is from this brand. Obviously you can get your own brand, it's up to you. I will have a model number in the description if you do want to get that one. And the other thing you guys need to get as well when you buy this truck is also a pinion gear, because it doesn't come with one. Now, something to keep in mind, and this was something that I overlooked when I bought this motor and ESC combo, was that this motor actually comes with a 5mm shaft. Now that's nothing, there's really nothing wrong with that, but these are 48 pitch gears, and what that means is that it's a little bit tougher to find pinions for that have a 5mm hole. Now you can find them, they do exist, but just be mindful of where you can get them from. I actually went to Tower Hobbies and I found that they have some there. I bought 3. I got a 17 tooth, a 23 tooth, and in the truck at the moment I've got a 20 tooth. So I'm going to try out the medium size one out of the 3 that I bought and see how the motor temperature holds up and see how it performs. If I find that it's running a bit too warm, then I'll switch it out to a 17 tooth. If I find that it still could use a little bit more gearing, then I've got a 23 tooth to go to. You can get bigger than 23, and you can get, I think, 1 or 2 teeth smaller than 17. So, it really depends on what you want to do. But I think for this system here, it's a little bit of trial and error. I've never used it before, and I'm hoping that it performs as advertised. So I am very keen to get this guy out on the BMX track and give you guys a bit of a show as to how it performs. Now it has been raining the last couple of days, so I don't know when I'll be able to get out there, but hopefully I will get out there very, very soon, and yeah, take this guy for a run. So with that, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to check out the video description for a link to my Facebook page, which will keep you a couple of steps ahead to what's going on here on YouTube, as well as links to all the products that I purchased for this truck. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you again soon.